All right, guys. Spurs win 127 to 120 against the Utah Jazz behind a season high 38 points for DeMar DeRozan. He was great in this game. He was great in the last game within this game. Um, and I mean, sure, he doesn't shoot threes, but dude's a walking bucket. He gets to the line so much, and he creates so many opportunities from the inside out when he is allowed space to create. It's silly. Um, a lot of good things in this game. Marco had 10. Uh, Patty Mills had 18. He wasn't his most efficient shooting night, but he scored the ball well. 5 of 11, 3 of 9 from 3. Um, Derek White and Rudy Gay each had 10 points. And DeJounte Murray put up 16, 7 to 10. Derek and DeMar both kind of laid eggs in the previous game. They both played pretty strong tonight, and they actually shared the court a little bit, which was cool to see. Bryn Forbes had a decent game by his standards, I suppose. He put up 19 points. No, he put up 9 points. Sorry. Got a little excited there. He put up 9 points, 4 or 7 shooting. He got killed on defense, but when does he not? It was interesting because we saw the Derek White DeJounte Murray pairing, right? And it was like, oh, cool, this works well. But then they're in there playing with Bryn Forbes as well. And it's kind of like if you're TSA, like an 80-year-old man, like kind of like waving the wand at you. And then if you play Bryn Forbes in a zone defense, it's like you have those two lines and you let people pick. So that's always going to be a thing when Bryn Forbes is on the floor. He only played 23 minutes in this game, so nothing super egregious. Chimezie Metu got some early burn thanks to some foul trouble by Jakob Poeltl, but he only played 6 minutes in this game. Made 1 shot, got 2 rebounds. Really, the reason that he is going to struggle in the NBA is because of his size, guarding bigger players in the paint. And he pretty much has to be a center. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of tough for him playing against a big body. I have no idea why LaMarcus Aldridge isn't playing. Spurs say thumb sprain. I have no reason to not believe that. And I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge has been playing really well for this team. He's a big part of why DeMar DeRozan has been so effective. I think the Spurs have played kind of well without DeMar DeRozan here, but they did in this game at least, and I think part of that is because you got to throw a big athletic center like Jakob Poeltl at Rudy Gobert. So I think in that respect they did well. And Jakob Poeltl is a solid player. He sets great screens for everybody. The Spurs opened the third quarter on a really, really cool inbound play. It wasn't even an inbound play. It was just a half set they ran. Derek White runs pick and roll, gets down here. Jakob Poeltl sets the screen and kind of pops out here. But Jakob Poeltl doesn't shoot, right? This is not great. There we go. All right. So Jakob pops here, but he can't shoot. He sets a screen for Patty Mills coming this way. Pass goes to Patty. He misses an open 3, but it was a beautiful look. And it shows that's exactly the kind of player that this guard-heavy team needs. Guys who, get other people open. Rudy Gay, we got to talk about Rudy Gay for a second. Because, like I said, he had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Statistically speaking, a productive game, wide open shots. Um, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but whatever part of the brain that governs wide open three-point shots is just broken in Rudy's head. I don't I don't know what it is. Um, but he either catches wide open and then rushes a drive into traffic, or he catches wide open and he has so much time that he like hesitates and then overthinks it, and then there's like a little hitch and he bricks it. It's been that way the entire season. I think now he's shooting somewhere around 23% on 3-point shots classified as wide open. And these are catch and shoot looks. These are like bread and butter. If you're an NBA player outside of 7'1", you probably have to hit this shot to be in the NBA. And he can't hit those shots. And as a result, he's not confident in those shots. And as a result, he can't hit those shots. And as a result, he has stopped taking those shots. A lot of the time, he'll catch wide open at the arc and just not shoot it. And that hurts the team. If you got a guy who's a non-shooter who theoretically can shoot and sometimes does pretty well, but if you have a guy on the team who makes it clear that he's not a three-point threat or doesn't feel like a three-point threat, you could exploit that. And that takes away the space from DeMar DeRozan and, from everybody else who's trying to attack the rim. And it was interesting tonight to see him play at the 5 against Rudy Gobert. And Gobert had like 19 rebounds in this game. But I mean, we literally have not seen Rudy Gay at the 5 at all this year. Haven't seen it. And tonight Pop went to it against like one of the more dominant centers in the league. It was weird. I thought maybe there was a chance that he was like giving Rudy Gobert a juicy post matchup so that they would feed him in the post, which is not really his strong suit, but it was weird. I don't know. A lot of things worked out for the Spurs in this game. But yeah, they're still very inconsistent. They're coming off 3 losses in games that they could have won. And at least 2 of those games they should have won, and they didn't. And today they play against a Jazz team who I kind of think are a little overrated, but like also not too many people are taking them that seriously. They're not as good as their record says they are. But they're still a tough team. I mean, they still got talent 1 through 5. And pretty deep on the bench too. But I mean, they'll win a game like this and they might lose at home to Charlotte. Yeah, exactly. Like tell me you can't picture that. I was expecting this game. It seemed prime for like a fourth quarter letdown, just because they shot so hot in the first half, and it was like I was watching it and I was like, oh, shots are going in, but this is kind of an outlier. But I think part of the reason that they shot such a high percentage, because they weren't hitting threes in this game. They only shot like 26% from 3 in this game. If you look at the shot chart, it's all mid-range. And the Jazz defense is like designed to run guys off the line, the 3-point line, and funnel them to Rudy Gobert at the rim. And when you do that, what do you give up? The mid-range shot. And oh, by the way, even without LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs have guys who do that. DeJounte's mid-range game, if you haven't been paying attention this year, it's good. Like, it's way better than it was. Like, to the point where when he runs pick and roll or or attacks in isolation and crosses over. Not only do I want him to shoot it, I expect it to go in. Um, he's been really dangerous off the dribble. Um, Huge improvement for him. And Derek White attacking the basket is always a good thing. He's super dangerous going downhill. He hit a pull up three. It was a hilarious moment. Kind of late in the fourth quarter. He's holding the ball, and shot clock's ticking down, and Pop is on the sideline. He's like, "Run something! Come on, do something!" And like you could kind of see he was like, "All right, chill, I got this." And then put it on the floor. He didn't even really move too much with it, and pulled up for three and drilled it. Um, I've said before that Derek White is the most complete basketball player on this team, um, and I stand by that. I mean, he does everything that you could ask a basketball player to do. Um, exactly. He seems healthier. He seems confident. Um, Derek White has a big future in this league and on this team. Um, I think the main question marks with this team are still rotation and defense, and they're obviously related. Um, like down the stretch in this game, there was a lot more Marco Bellinelli and Bryn Forbes than I was comfortable with. Um, you know, I think especially if you're trying to protect a lead and you're gonna throw out a lineup with Derek White and DeJounte Murray together, throwing Bryn Forbes out there kind of negates that. So that's a question mark for me. Um, I think Pop's been figuring it out a little more. Um, but like I haven't seen him push all of those buttons for like a a stacked defensive lineup for more than a possession or two. Um, so um, I've seen some people asking about trade stuff. I put up a poll the other day, asking, you know, s- um, and seemed like about 60% wanted DeMar to stay, um, and around 40% wanted LaMarcus Aldridge to stay. So, and I get it because DeMar has been playing so well, but like you literally can't separate DeMar has been playing so well from LaMarcus Aldridge has also been playing so well and playing in a complementary style to DeMar DeRozan. Like if you all right, say the Spurs got rid of LaMarcus Aldridge, kept DeMar DeRozan, right? What kind of center would you want to pair him with? You would want somebody who spaces the floor, obviously, anchors the defense, maybe knows the system a little bit. Um, and we're describing like nouveau LaMarcus Aldridge. Like that's what he's doing now. He is spacing the floor. So I don't know. It it feels like they're figuring out how to make it work at least on offense. Um, and winning oftentimes comes down to supporting cast. Um, yeah, somebody in the YouTube comments here is saying that the problem with DeMar is he plays the position that the young guys play. You know, DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Lonnie Walker. These guys are all at their best attacking with the ball in their hands. So when you have a guy like DeMar DeRozan who is at his best running pick and roll, posting up, playing with the ball, um, it takes those opportunities away from the young players. So, and there's the whole question of his contract because, um, like, I think if they were to trade anybody, my preference would be DeMar for those reasons. And because the way Aldridge is playing also complements Derek White and DeJounte Murray and Walker. Um, but I honestly am fine with them keeping DeMar DeRozan at this point. If they want to make this push for the A seed, and like, people talk like the playoffs are a guarantee, like health is a guarantee. You never know what's going to happen. Say they go for the A seed and, you know, LeBron or AD or both are injured. There's no there are no guarantees. Anything can happen in the playoffs. Um, and I think it's admirable that they're fighting for it. Um, yeah, that's a good point. Like it does feel like this team has the pieces to make it work, but the rotation has largely held them back this year. Um, and I don't think there's any way around that. And it's been uncomfortable for Spurs fans. It's been weird because we're not used to that really. Um, so this team is still not out of it yet. I think they're 2 games back of Memphis for that A seed. There are what 35 games to go. Like, like it's still right there. Still almost half a season left. The rodeo road trip is going to be big, and the Spurs absolutely need to beat Charlotte at home before it starts. If the Spurs don't beat Charlotte at home before it starts, eh, that's gonna be that's gonna be real sad, and it's gonna bode really really poorly for them moving forward. All right, guys, that's it for me. Y'all have a good night. As always, go Spurs, go.